Alrighty, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, YouTube preppers, prepping outside the box. I'm Josh, and today we're going to get into understanding cover. This video is not for ballistics. We are not going to talk about ballistics on this video. There are a lot of good videos out there that talk about it, and I guarantee I will touch on some aspects of ballistics later on, but not today. We're going to be talking about understanding cover, and the point of this video is going to be helping those that maybe just lack or need help understanding what cover is, or ways to identify it and things like that, right? How to utilize it. So what is cover, first of all? The easiest, simplest way to put it is cover's protection. It's something in between you and danger, right? So whatever's blocking or protecting you from danger. Cover can be numerous things. It can be all around you, it could be above you, it could be below you. Whatever is going to be blocking something that's dangerous from you, right? Protecting you. Cover can be concealment. A lot of times cover can be utilized as concealment also, but concealment is not always cover. And we'll talk about concealment in another video, another time. We'll get a little more into it, but right now, just understand concealment's not really providing protection, cover does, right? Obviously they both have their place. For both of them, and sometimes in combination, right? It just depends on what's going on, situation dictates. Anyways, there are going to be varying degrees of cover, varying degrees of protection, and some of the things that you think, or probably have been brought to think, are going to be good forms of cover can easily be penetrated, right? They're just not good. And that's what we're trying to evaluate now, right? So the idea is to always use, obviously, the best option for max available protection for you from danger. Cover for a lot of people, so breaking into some kinds of it, cover for a lot could literally be the plate carrier they're wearing. It's obviously, I mean, it's directional. You got your front plate, your rear plate. I know there's sides and fancy doodads and stuff, but you got your plate carrier on. It does provide some protection. It's obviously not complete protection. However, it does cover like your vital organs and things like that from penetrating objects to an extent. Like I said, varying degrees of cover, varying degrees of protection. Look at the different levels of armor rating for plates, right? It's varying degrees. It does not protect you from everything. Anyways, when talking about things like that, vehicles is a really good one to use as an example, just because a vehicle can be concealment and cover for one. Not every area on a vehicle is good. The ones you want to stick to are obviously going to be like the engine compartment and the axles and things like that. The things that have a lot of dense, hard metal that would be blocking you from whatever's being shot or directed your way. Anything dangerous, right? Things like truck beds and doors and all that, it does not provide a good cover. And I always kind of laugh because you'll see them used in movies so wrong so many times. But just remember, hard engine compartment, axles, things like that, things that will actually stop penetration are what you'd be utilizing in some kind of situation like that. Not everything. You can literally, I went out with my buddy, and you can shoot just with like 223 straight through the doors of trucks and things like that. It just goes in door, through the seats, out through the other seat, out through the other door, it'll go. And yes, things can tumble, things can move around, there's frangible ammunition, there's all kinds of things we can talk about in that, but for the most part, talking about max protection. Max protection would be that engine compartment and axle. Let's get back into it a little bit more too. So Ricochet, I just wanted to touch on this. When you're thinking about utilizing cover, you've got to think about ricochets also. So if I'm using a half wall, I'm using the hood of a vehicle, getting behind the engine compartment, and I'm utilizing it for cover. If you are right up on that, rounds that are going to be shooting down low, shooting towards the top of the surface that is right in front of you, your cover is going to ricochet in one direction, and that's usually going to be at you. It's going to bounce your direction, right? It's going to ricochet at you. So stepping back and utilizing that cover from a distance could be very, very important. You're still utilizing the cover, but now it's also going to matter how close you are to said cover. It's almost like following walls. You never want to be tucked up on a wall. It could be cover, but when things are shot down, they ricochet and they usually follow the wall. You don't want that following you, right? So remember, you're also going to have to incorporate distance with your cover. You can't be right up on it all the time. Things like metal sheets and furniture, I always find this hilarious. You always see it in the movies when they're using this, kicking over, the coffee table and using it in the middle of a firefight. Furniture and thin sheets of metal is not cover, right? Yeah, they might block them from throwing bottles and stuff at you, but not like what we're talking about, penetration from, higher velocity objects, right? Anyways, so the bottom line that we're trying to get at right now is going to be when you're attempting to set up cover in whatever location. You're attempting to set it up, or you're just attempting to utilize such cover, maybe moving around or anything like that. You want to try to find whatever it is going to give you the maximum amount of available protection. You got to think of things like hard packed, dense surfaces. So like I was saying, the dense hard surface inside of an engine compartment as compared to a thin metal sheet. Yes, they're both hard, but now you're looking at dense, right? Packed, things like, and no one's going to be stacking up sandbags. Well, actually, I don't know if they will or will not. Packing sandbags in your house is not something I'm going to say needs to be done right now. But I'm just saying, think of that as an example. It's a packed, dense surface that is designed to slow the penetration of an object penetrating, right? So consider those things when you are trying to set up cover or utilize it while you're on the move. Things that are going to be dense are important. There is no time while you're moving around to sit there and stop and ask people what you think their caliber is or what kind of rounds they're using. Like I said, out of ballistics class. So your immediate thought should be going for the maximum available protection, okay? But anyways, I hope this gave some people at least a warm and fuzzy to understand this. If there's any questions about this, I'd love to be able to answer them for you. And if I can't answer them, I will direct you where you can find the answer. But until tomorrow, prepping outside the box, and I'm Josh, and I'll see you then.